All right, so let's get our definitive prediction down. So, Triple G back in the day, he was a media creation. Was he a good fighter? Yeah, he was a good, solid fighter. But he was a media creation. They moved him the same way they moved Errol Spence. They had guys moving up to fight him. They had guys that couldn't punch. You know, the first power puncher that he fought was David Lemieux. David Lemieux had a reputation for being a power puncher, although he was a C-level fighter. And just like Danny Garcia, he had the same weapon. He had a get hit to hit, Hail Mary left hook counter. That was his shot, just like Danny Garcia. And we have Spence over here trying to convince the world that Danny Garcia is like the world's greatest counter puncher. That literally came out of his mouth. But when GGG fought Lemieux, he was more timid. He was fighting behind the jab and things like that. You understand? And he had a lot of respect. I think he didn't get Lemieux out of there till round 10. I can't remember. It's been years. You know what I'm saying? It's been years. But when we saw the Kasim Luma fight, I knew that GGG wasn't what they were trying to market him as. If you guys haven't been able to tell yet, I don't like hype jobs. I don't. I go after them like a rabid dog. You understand? We always attack those people, and we always go against those people. These fighters are good. They get to distort history and everything else. You know, they try to get guys like GGG to break Bernard Hopkins' records, although the man had a Reggie belt, and they're adding nose defenses. You understand? And it's no different with Errol Spence. You're a media creation. But that's going to be the name of this fight, the name of the game for this fight. You Spence fans that believe in all the nonsense, you believe that he fought Sean Porter's fight, you believe he tried to outbox Mickey Garcia, disregarding all the evidence and reality of the situation. You believe that the easier route means something else than what it is. I had to check 2 Spence fans just this week alone on what easier route means. And I had Errol Spence teach you what easier route is. Got an excuse after every win. I didn't train hard. I was on the path of destruction. I couldn't sweat. You understand? If you're this guy, why? Just like Triple G, after Kasim Luma fight, oh, I was sick and my luggage was stolen. This guy makes excuses after every win. Oh, I tried to get him out of there, but you know, it wasn't a man down tonight. And it ain't been a man down in a long time, guys. But for Terrence Crawford, all of a sudden, guy who hasn't fought no one and all this other nonsense, the narratives have been crazy over the past years. But you're going to come out and you're going to be timid. It's that simple. You ain't going to come out throwing 700 punches. You're going to fight just like you did against Lardy after he clipped you. That's the version of Errol Spence that you're going to get. You don't sit here and tell everybody, I got to be focused. Focus, focus, focus. We just got to stay focused. And you're over here getting hit upside your head by a 60-year-old trainer, Derek James, who was a cab driver. Just the same way you got caught by Derek, that's going to be there all night. And you guys are telling me one of the best counterpunchers in the game ain't going to fight this dude. And what's funny is everybody's sleeping on the body puncher. Errol Spence is more open to the body than he is his head. He gets clipped with goofy punches to the head, yes. But what people really don't pay attention to is how open he is to the body. Danny Garcia was landing all kinds of body punches on Spence. Ugas was landing body punches that hurt Spence. The key to this fight for Terrence Crawford, typically as a fighter, you're good at one thing, but you're also weak to it. Terrence Crawford is going to have problems with a guy who actually has punch placement and timing. A guy like Jared in his boots. A guy like Virgil Ortiz. Those guys know how to do time. and place their shots with power. Both guys hit harder than Spence. Both guys are far more dangerous than Spence, and it's all due to timing and punch placement. That's what's going to give Terrence Crawford problems. A guy who just goes out there and throws the same routine over and over again while he makes a ton of mistakes that you guys call fundamentals, that's not going to get the job done. That's an easier fight than Sean Porter, stylistically. That's an easier fight than Mean Machine, a guy who set Crawford up, down low, then come up top. Spence don't do that stuff, guys. Spence does not make guys walk into traps. He does not set up fighters for traps. You see exactly what you get. Jab, jab, straight left. We've already gone over this, guys. Crawford's going to pick up on that nonsense quick, and he's going to start timing it. This man always overextends, overreaches. When he jumps to the body, watch his fights. He's doing the splits. Then he ends up out of position. The name of the game with a Terrence Crawford fight, Chris Algieri explained this, and we've explained this to you plenty of times. He's going to be changing levels. He's going to be darting forward and backwards. He's going to use lateral movement. Just the battle of the feet alone is going to be a tiresome task. You're going to get tired of this guy just sitting there doing his little routine. Errol Spence, the only foot movement maneuver he really has is a step back, and that's because you're always out of position, overreaching. It's going to be a tiresome fight just on the feet alone. Your jab, you saw what a real jab was yesterday with Inoue. That's a jab. What Errol Spence does is sleight of hand distraction. That's all his jab is. It's a defense mechanism. His jab is actually his defense. It's to keep opponents at bay and distracted. It is not an offensive tool, it's a defensive tool. And you get countered a lot off of that jab. And you're trying to tell me again, one of the best, if not the best counterpuncher in boxing today. A guy who always lands punches that his opponents do not see. You understand? Isn't going to be able to find Errol Spence, especially with that jab as he's keeping it out there, overextended, almost doing the splits, guys. This fight's overblown, and it's been overblown. This is cash out fight for Errol Spence. After, in the Danny Garcia fight, his step back, them legs started to get tired, and Danny Garcia was catching him more in the back six. This is why he was able to buckle him in rounds 8 or 9, I can't remember the exact round, buckled him. And this is why you also later took out his mouthpiece. Again, we got the Ugas explanation. PR, they, just say it was a joke and you were trying to find your teeth. Trust me, they practiced that with each other. Try to be funny, get the audience to laugh about it, Errol Spence. But why didn't you put that effort in the Danny Garcia fight? You spit your mouthpiece out there too. And you're trying to tell me, are they going to glue his mouthpiece in like his teeth? This fight, narratives and popularity contests are going to count for nothing, guys. Your narratives and your popularity contests ain't going to save you. PR, you got politics set up. We already see what judges you got. Doesn't matter. Like I said, it's a waste of time and money. That's all it is. Paying these judges extra money to assure Errol Spence gets a victory, it's a waste of money and time. But PR, that's been your best attribute, Errol Spence. Tim Smith was a media guy. He was a writer. He used to always defend Floyd during the Manny Pacquiao era. That's how he got his job as VIP for PBC. Al Heyman really liked it. This guy just, no matter what, would defend Floyd Mayweather. That's how he got his job. But PR's been your best weapon. We have to say that you ain't fought no one. And when you fight someone, we say that they already had a foot out the door. You know what I'm saying? We still got to move the goalposts. Give me 1 minute. How you doing? You too. PR's been your best weapon. Like for Canelo Alvarez, his best weapon is money. He gets guys, all right, I'll pay you this money. You just got to basically lose. Take this rehydration clause. You know, non-disclosure agreement. Don't say anything we mentioned. You can't try to knock me out either. That's going to make the Canelo fans mad. I don't care. I like Canelo, but he's fake too. He would be a $2 whore in any other era. You can't beat dudes on an even playing field. Top 10 consensus. You're the most affected fighter on an even playing field. You have the most controversies and everything else. You're a solid fighter. You are. But you beat guys before they even get in the ring. But Errol Spence, his best attribute is not his skills. You're not a top 3 pound for pound fighter. Sorry. You don't possess those skills. You don't possess the IQ. It's been PR. It's been popularity contests. It's been narratives. Your jab ain't as good as the narrative says your jab is. Your skills aren't as good as the narrative tries to say your skills are. Your IQ isn't as good as what the narratives and the PR say. Even your pay-per-view sales. I saw that Boxing Ego, we're dropping a name today. This dude's a goofball. And even the Errol Spence fans call this dude out on his questionable characteristics. We'll just say that. You know, a man wearing some contacts and things like that. You know, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a Boxing Ego show. Hey, it works. It gets him, you know, his viewers and all that nonsense. But he's over here, oh, I got to do a live stream to defend Errol Spence when Terrence Crawford said he doesn't sell as much. He doesn't. Why you think Terrence Crawford got away with so much in the negotiation? Your dude's not this real star. You understand? You have to lie about the pay-per-view buys. But they even lie about your stardom. They lie about your money. I feel played. How about you explain that one, Boxing Ego? Why is he feeling played? Let me guess, it's Crawford's fault. It's not Al Heyman's or anybody else's fault, huh? Just like Deontay Wilder complaining about his money. I'm tired of that. I want my money. PBC's not what you guys want it to be. And none of these fighters are what you guys want them to be. Every time they fight someone outside of PBC, they get exposed. Sean Porter looked like a killer when he was given the fights that he was supposed to win. But when you ventured out, you fought a Kell Brook, and Kell Brook's resume wasn't even that good. I told you guys before. Even before he fought Sean Porter, he was knocked down before by UK domestic level talent. Go look at his resume on BoxRec. Look at the dudes that he's beating. You guys are only propping up Kell Brook because Sean Porter and Spence fought him. Because that's all you know. You just know Al Heyman's product. You guys don't know nothing about boxing. But you venture off a guy not from PBC, you lose. And Kell Brook probably beat Porter better than Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, man. And he only had to use like 1 or 2 tactics. Jab, hold. Time you, hold. Rinse, wash, repeat. But every time these guys, even when they think they're cherry picking people, we're going to try to get Tyson Fury off a long layoff. He has mental issues. He's overweight. This is the prime time to get him. Nope. Nope. And turn down $120 million while you're at it, Deontay Wilder. We don't want you fighting AJ right now. You're not ready. Sorry, I know that's your biggest payday. You know, I want you to take the stipend instead, all right? That's my money. You know how we work here. You're gonna get your stipend, Deontay Wilder. I'll put your name under LLC. I'll get you a mansion and all that. Although it's mine, but you can sleep in it. You know what I'm saying? You can live there. But if anything goes wrong, it's mine. Same with Jamal Charlo and all these. They live in mansions and crap, but you over here can't pay a $2,000 tab because your money didn't drop. Al Heyman forgot to deposit your little stipend. But either way, Every time these guys go and they venture outside of PBC, because all Al Heyman does, he babies and pacifies these fighters too much. You baby them too much and it stunts their growth. And then when they fight a real guy, a guy who has been in the ocean, a guy who has worked himself up, they get exposed. And it's going to be no different this fight, guys. The matchmaker at PBC, their system, it is flawed. And it does not really assist the fighter. They get the PR, they learn how to talk in front of a camera. It's all smoke and mirrors. But when it comes to real time, when it comes to real go time, and you're finally fighting an opponent that wasn't pacified like you as they were being brought up, you get exposed. It's not going to be no different this fight. You're not a top 3 pound for pound fighter. That's just marketing scheme is all that is. There's nothing about you. Your jab, again, we saw what a real jab does. Anyway, beat what's his name with the jab all night. The jab set up everything. It got to the point where he looked like he's throwing the jab. Fulton's looking for the jab, and then he'll change it up and just throw the left hook. That was a beating yesterday. That was a schooling. Man, that was a spiritual retreat yesterday, Fulton, man. Oh, man, and this dude's in the camera talking about, look, my face looks, dude, that's a PBC fighter for you. That's a PBC fighter for you. You done got knocked out twice in one sequence. He knocked you down once, gloves touched the canvas, you got back up, then he knocked you down with the left hook. 2 knockdowns in one knockdown sequence. That's a PBC fighter for you. It's all about PR, and it's all about narratives, and it's all about that type of nonsense, politics. Just because Al Heyman owns 3 of the 4 belts at welterweight, and you're propping up guys like Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, and the same guys get to fight for the belts, and nobody else really gets to fight for the belts. And Ugas finally got emailed a belt, didn't even earn a belt. Elver Ramos almost knocked you out in the 12th round. That does not make these guys real champions. That's just an assembly line. That's just a man manipulating a division. Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman, those are close fights. Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, you're all the same level. Errol Spence is nothing but a Sean Porter level fighter. If Sean Porter had a little bit more power, he would have easily beat Errol Spence. He would have knocked him out, but he don't have power. He don't like to sit on his punches. He punches while he's jumping in the air and all this nonsense. Fights just like Amir Khan when it comes to that aspect. But again, if he had power, he would have beat Spence. It's as simple as that. And they kept Spence away from power punchers. Randall Bailey, 2 weeks notice. He told the story. He said, they gave him a call. He's like, yeah, I'm ready. Then they call him 20 minutes later. They're like, never mind, don't worry about it. Because they know he's a power puncher. They kept you away from that. They kept you away from versatile guys. You got the fight guys who stand there right in front of you. I was watching the Chris Algieri fight yesterday. This is the sad part. This man was even punching Chris Algieri in the balls. His whole game plan is to get you stationary so that you can stay there, not move around too much, and then he can just throw his little volume punching, and hopefully the ring doctor or whoever else, because you don't get knockouts anymore. So this man down talk is just, it's laughable to me at this point. But he's got to punch you in your balls, your legs, and everything else, because he ain't an accurate puncher. He needs the volume. Just to slow you down so you're an easier target, just so that he can punch his little volume, man. That stuff is not going to work for Terrence Crawford. Like I said, you're going to need to have punch placement timing. But again, what's going to surprise people this fight, it's not only going to be the head punches that Terrence Crawford lands, but it's going to be the body punches that are really going to throw people off, like that are really going to catch people off guard, even Errol Spence himself. And the way this guy defends himself, he has a slow response time. You know, when you hit him in the head, you know, he's going to raise his high guard up to his head. Then you can hit him in the body. Sean Porter was body heading Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford always body heads dudes. He's got that awareness to do so. He can set dudes up on top to go down low to set dudes up top. It's just going to be like, it's going to be this outright beating, dude. My only thing is I don't know the round, but I'm thinking it's going to be around round 6. So I'm going to be covering on the prop bet rounds 4, 5, 6, and like 7. Maybe cover 8 too, but this is going to be a middle of the fight knockout. That's just the feeling I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? What's going to make me mad is if this dude gets Errol Spence up out of there earlier. I don't think this fight goes past 8, man. I really don't. But yeah, he's going to come out timid. He's going to try to actually outbox and play chess. When he's used to checkers, he's going to try to play chess with Terrence Crawford. He's going to be getting clipped. And when that doesn't work, you understand? Because he's going to be timid, especially when he feels that power upside his head and on his body. He's going to try to be a back foot fighter, show everybody his boxing skills, just like with Mickey Garcia. And then when it gets close to it, you understand? That's when you're going to see desperation finally kick in. He's going to be doing some goofy stuff to close that distance. Against Ugas, this man, he stays real low, you know what I'm saying? But he was doing some goofy stuff to close the gap against Ugas, man. Like running back drill type stuff. You look like you were holding a football, hands are down by your waist, and you're all low. You know what I'm saying? Head up. Slowly going to Ugas' side, you know, to close the distance and stuff, dude. I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you right now. We talked about him doing the splits and all that nonsense earlier. He does some goofy stuff, guys. This stuff is not fundamental. And Terrence Crawford is more than capable of landing these shots, seasoning the opening when he does this nonsense. But you're going to see him do some real goofy stuff to close that distance there on the fight. Of course, he's going to do his jab, jab, haymaker left like he did versus Kell Brook and Ugas as well. You know, but again, we told you, this man, he gets real low and he's almost doing the splits when he does these maneuvers. Terrence Crawford is going to time him eventually off that nonsense, dude. I'm telling you that right now. Jab, jab, haymaker left to close the distance. Right by the man's balls, you know, by the man's genitals when he does this stuff. He likes to stay low. People talk about size, but you're always lower than your opponent. Danny Garcia low, right down by his waist. Hips. Ugas, right down by his waist. Hips. That's where he likes to fight because that's where he feels safest at. What Terrence Crawford's going to need to look out for is when he clinches and things like that with Errol Spence. This is when Errol Spence likes to get his free work. That's how he does a sloppy punch and he tries to keep his left hand open so that he can use it to just hit hips and legs and balls. You know, it's going to be the same thing. As far as the ball punching, you're just going to piss Crawford off. He's already told you and warned you what's going to happen if you do that nonsense. You want to hit Terrence Crawford in his balls, by all means do so, dude. You're going to get that mean machine Crawford. That Crawford is going to come out there and he's going to want to take your head off. And he is going to catch you. You understand? You don't have defense. You don't have awareness. You don't have focus. That's your problem. You're too asleep as a fighter. Too unconscious as a fighter. But yeah, stage 1, we're going to try to use our boxing skills just like we did against Mickey Garcia. Because that's another thing too. You let these fans fill your head up. You're over here getting tattoos of sharks. You're over here getting mouthpieces, shark teeth eyepieces. You don't let this stuff get to your head. You're going to try to box thinking you have boxing skills, throwing your volume. You know what I'm saying? Not even all that accurate, you know. And you're going to get clipped. And in stage 2, desperation mode. Now I have no choice but to bum rush this dude. Now I got to do something desperate. And that's when you're going to get caught. And that's when this fight's going to end. Again, I got a middle round stoppage. Like, I'm covering the majority of the middle rounds on the prop bet. It's big money, so even if I lose, you know, whatever, I could easily gain it back. But still, my thing is I have an eerie feeling this dude might get up out of there sooner. You know what I'm saying? He's been talking a good game. He's been saving face. He's been trying to sound confident and things like that. Although at the same time, you got to go to the extremes of saying that Sean Porter was done. Watch the Sebastian fight, you know, but we won't take into account the Ugas performance. that everyone, majority thinks that he lost. You know, yeah, he was more beat up in that Ugas fight than the Errol Spence fight. But, you know, we won't take that type of stuff. Danny Garcia is the best counterpuncher. You know, he's doing a lot to try to convince himself. But nothing more harsher than reality, guys. Nothing more harsher than reality. I'm going to be mad if I lose my money because this dude gets clipped early. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I don't think, you know, if he does get past 8, you know, it won't be too far behind when he does get clipped and knocked out in this fight. You know, I think people are really banking. They're going to have the refs. We saw with the Caleb Plant versus Benavidez fight how the ref was allowed Plant to just hold all day long. And we know all that stuff's implemented in this fight. They got their judges set up. But like I said, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. All this effort for nothing. And again, you punch Crawford in that balls, he's going to get you. He's going to get his get back. You just don't have the defensive responsibility to avoid the shots that Crawford's able to land. But yeah, I got this Crawford knockout. I hope mid-rounds, because that's where I'm putting my money. I think Crawford, too, will have some level of respect. But once he starts seeing that this man, just like how Sean Porter explained, he's not that smart and things like that, once he gains a little bit more confidence, when he sees how easy and slow he is to hit, how clunky he is with his cement feet, how robotic he is, how predictable he is, you know, once he gains that little bit of confidence in things, you know, Crawford's going to come, he's going to turn on. That's another quick point we need to mention. Crawford has gears. Errol Spence, you got 1 or 2 gears. Crawford has multiple gears. So anytime you approach one threshold, Crawford's going to raise the game, just like how you guys move goalposts on him. You know, oh, you got me to 2nd gear, well, let's go to 3rd, you know. Oh, you finally got the 3rd gear, you know. Spence running off diesel, you know what I'm saying? Crawford's running off a jet engine, jet fuel, you know. Oh, you finally hit 3rd gear? Okay, we're going to go to 4th. Oh, you're kind of scraping by to get to this 4th. You know, I'll just take you to 5th just for the sake of it, you know. Crawford's got gears, guys. He's got levels. And you're going to see levels in this fight. That's all we got for now, guys. I mean, I pretty much explained this and basically reiterated myself, but Crawford's going to win this fight. We'll just see what kind of excuses and everything the Spence fans say afterwards. So we will talk to you guys later. Bye.